I love the form factor of my Google Pixel Watch, and since we now have a Google Pixel Watch 2 and Samsung's newest Watch 6, I am noticing the smartwatch ecosystem for Android users is just getting better and better. Yay! Now, in my opinion, this is the year to pay attention to Android Wear OS and the new hardware that we are getting access to. So let's take a look at the new Samsung Galaxy Watch 6. The Samsung Galaxy Watch 6 is $300 for the 40mm model, or about $330 for the 44mm size. Your options for the main aluminum casing are gold or graphite, with graphite and silver being available for the larger model. Now, each size has a variety of bands in different materials and 2 different band sizings. There's small and medium, or medium and large. The base model includes Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, but for an additional cost, up to $350 for the 40mm model, you can get a 4G LTE model instead. This is IP68, which means that you can dunk it, you can wear it in the shower, or you could swim with it and it will be okay up to 50 meters. In terms of design, it is very similar to its predecessor, with the 2 buttons for navigation, as well as built-in sensors for those buttons to do body measurements like BMI and ECG. The bottom of it does have a sensor array as well for active measurements, and it's pretty lightweight, and the sport band is very smooth to the touch, the one that I chose, and it is made of the same material as previous ones. Now, these kinds of bands do irritate my skin. They often give my wrist a rash, like right around the bottom especially. So I will be switching out this 20mm band, the one that I got with my watch, to one that I can comfortably wear. The wristband itself, though, has changed a little bit. Now, you will notice there's a button up here and there is a button down here. So those buttons are actually used to press down to push the pins inward in order to remove the bands. It makes it a really easy and simple process. Press down and then you can replace the band back on your watch. It's so easy. I have to say, those buttons were so smart. It makes the process really easy, and you can replace these with any compatible bands, like mine are 20mm, that are the same size. Now, whenever wearing this snugly, this thing does fit perfectly on my wrists, which are pretty petite wrists as it is, so I like having a smaller watch band as well. Hey, real quick shout out to my newest channel members, including Jay and Alan. There is a join button under this video where you can support my channel monthly, and you can get early access to videos, you can get a live stream that I do every single month just for members, and special icons next to your name whenever you comment or join live chats. It's a really great way to support this channel, and it keeps the content flowing. The free way to support this channel is just by subscribing, and that tells me that I'm doing a good job for you, so thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Now, most recently, my smartwatches included the Google Pixel Watch and the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4, so I did skip the last release from Samsung. This one does have an increased screen size though, and thinner bezels. I love that, even though the housing is the same size. This screen is also a lot brighter. It's 2000 nits, which is pretty dang ridiculously high, so whenever I wear it outside, it's so much easier to see while I'm doing things like hiking on a bright and sunny day, or I'm taking my dog to the park when the sun is rolling over the hill. I often wake up before my husband does though, and the screen does not get as dim as I would like. It would be nice if it got a little bit darker whenever it's the middle of the night and it's super dark in my bedroom so that I don't wake him up. It is a flat screen, no curve at the edges, which will make it easy to install a screen protector if you wanted to, but it is supposed to be more durable though. So far, I have banged this thing against a few surfaces like my kitchen countertop, which is made out of stone, and it has survived with no scratches, so I do have to say, it seems quite durable. It is now a 1.3 inch or a 1.5 inch Super AMOLED sapphire crystal glass display. Like previous models, you can enable an always-on display. You can also have it light up whenever you flick your wrist back and forth. The RAM in this smartwatch was upgraded to 2 gigs, making this feel a little faster. The CPU has also been upgraded to 1.4 gigahertz Exynos W930, and I do feel like it's faster. I feel as if the sensors are quicker at reading my heart rate whenever I do a quick read, and then whenever I'm swiping around, I feel like it swipes from app to app pretty quickly. I see animations happen quicker as well. Also, you can scroll really fast by just touching the bezel and sliding your finger back and forth, and the haptics whenever you do that, they feel really cool. It's very responsive. I will say though, the biggest drawback with this smartwatch is the battery life. I am charging mine every morning whenever I get ready for my day and do my hair and makeup and brush my teeth. If I don't, it usually lasts about a day and a half with my usage, and I do use the raise to wake whenever I'm looking at it, so your mileage may vary a little bit if you mess with your own settings. If you have ever used watchOS and a Samsung watch with their One UI, you will be familiar with this watch already. The gestures and the app placement are all the same, and several apps are already included by default that are normally used. There are some new watch faces, which I enjoyed checking out, but I downloaded a third-party one from the App Store to make it a little bit more personalized. One thing I was excited to see from the announcement of this watch was the ability to transfer the watch from one phone to another without having to reset it, and that is a new Wear OS option. I hated having to reset my watch every single time I upgrade because I switch phones all the time as a tech reviewer. It was a huge hassle. It really was. Now, under general settings, there is an option to transfer your watch to a new phone, and it's the most wonderful thing, and I wish this was a thing that they had done earlier, but now it's here, so yay, thank you. All you have to do is follow those on-screen instructions to set it up, and that is a huge improvement. Now, I am not a big fan of Fitbit's subscription model on the Pixel Watch. If you had purchased a Pixel Watch, you got like a free, what was it, 3 or 6 months or something like that from Pixel Watch, and then you would have to pay the subscription to get access to all the Fitbit health materials. So I like that Samsung has Samsung Health, which I think is loads better. The heart rate tracking on its own is a really big deal for me because I like to eat a whole bag of chips sometimes in one sitting. The Samsung Health Monitor app can track your ECG, and it gives you historical data points. So if you ever see a problem, you can save a PDF and you could send it to your doctor. It's so cool. Managing the watch from your phone is also really intuitive. It's very easy to use with the Wearables app. Whether that's installing your typical watch faces or customizing which app tiles you want to see, everything is there for the taking, and you can customize all the good things. I do think that this is a solid upgrade from my older Watch 4, so I am glad that I opted to upgrade to it. My biggest annoyances with the Pixel Watch are the about 1 day of battery life and the proprietary bands that require a somewhat loose third-party adapter to change to a third-party band, and the only ones that they came with without costing extra were the ones that give me a rash, so there's that too. Neither of those issues exist on the Watch 6 from good old Sammy. Now, the pricing is similar to its closest competitor in the Android WearOS marketplace though, so really comparing the features of which ecosystem you really want to buy into is the choice that you will need to make. I am recording this video in September since I am traveling in October, so hi to the future me. I hope that Pixel Watch 2 comes out in October, because that would be awesome, and that's what I'm going to recommend watching next, if it exists in October. So a Pixel Watch 2 video will be coming as well, assuming that I get my hands on one in October, so keep an eye out for that video. Comment below if you would like a comparison. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you next time. Bye y'all!